is a fan. Science fiction has no shortage of fans, and on this list, you're gonna find out about famous people and their favorite reads. So, will your favorite celebrity make the list? Will your favorite book be featured here? Keep watching to find out. SpaceX, Tesla, Boring Company, Neuralink, SolarCity, OpenAI, Twitter. I mean, the list continues. I probably forgot about a few companies that this person owns. Of course, I'm talking about one and only Elon Musk. Love him, hate him, it doesn't matter. The guy is a powerhouse. And guess what? He loves science fiction. I don't know when he's got time to read. That part baffles me. Some people say he is a robot, maybe an alien. And in this case, they may actually be true. In any case, I'm glad to hear that Elon Musk loves to read science fiction. However, I'm not so happy about his choice as his favorite book. That happens to be Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I personally had some problems with. I did not enjoy this book. In any case, he loves the book, as he also loves Foundation by Isaac Asimov. But it's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that is a standout for him. He went as far as to say that he's planning to name the first spaceship that flies to Mars Heart of Gold, after the ship from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I could probably suggest a better name for that spacecraft, but we'll let Elon do his thing. Okay, we're gonna stay in the realm of big tech and talk about one of the richest men on the planet. Blue Origin, Amazon. Of course, I'm talking about Jeff Bezos. And guess what? He is a fan of science fiction. Star Trek is one of his favorite shows. And when it comes to reading, he loves Frank Herbert's Dune. Now there is something I can say I agree with Jeff Bezos on. Okay, I admit it's a little bit tough to relate to these uber-rich technology moguls. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about someone who is famous on this platform. I'm talking about one of the most famous YouTubers ever, Swedish sensation PewDiePie. With over 100 million subscribers, thousands of videos, he is one of the most successful YouTubers of all time. Yeah? And he happens to be a big-time reader. He loves books, and he mentions Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes as one of his favorite books. Now, that's awesome because I read Flowers for Algernon just last year, and it was one of my top reads of the year. And I'm really glad to see it on this list. Have you read Flowers for Algernon? Leave a comment below. Now, as a perfect bookend on a YouTube shelf to PewDiePie, we have Emma Chamberlain.
I just wanna taste it. I just wanna taste it.
She's got an incredible personality. Millions of followers on YouTube, millions of young followers for sure. So it's great to hear that she is a reader, and she mentions her dad having an influence on her, and her favorite science fiction read is a dystopian classic 1984 by George Orwell. Very impressive. Keep reading, Emma. At only 27 years of age, she already is one of the biggest movie stars in the world. I'm talking about the star of Dune, Timothée Chalamet. But Timothy doesn't just enjoy movies, he loves to read. The list of his favorite books is very long. He mentions 1984, but yes, you guessed it, of course, on his list of all-time favorites is Frank Herbert's Dune. So that's a second appearance for both 1984 and Dune on this list. Good stuff. There seems to be a symmetry to this list, as the next one on the list is Jenny Ortega, a young movie star. She's only like 21 or 22, and she loves to read, has a list of favorite books, and among them she mentions Andy Weir's The Egg, which happens to be a short story that I read a while ago. You can just download the PDF of it. It's excellent, and I'm glad to hear that Jenny Ortega enjoyed Andy Weir. He's such an amazing science fiction author. I can't wait what he's gonna write next. 2 out of his 3 books were fantastic, of course, with The Martian and Project Hail Mary being some of my favorite science fiction reads. We're not gonna talk about Artemis at all. He is the creator of Not Boring, a hugely influential newsletter with the Sci-Fi idea bank in it. A self-made millionaire. I'm talking about Packy McCormick. He loves to read, and science fiction happens to be his favorite genre. Cixin Liu's The Three-Body Problem, one of his favorite books. Amazing. But he also mentions Red Rising as one of his all-time favorites. I read Red Rising, the first book anyway, recently. I'm gonna continue with this series. I liked it. I didn't love first book, but I have heard that the story gets better in book 2 and 3. Let me know if you've read them, if that's the case for you, and if the series is good enough for a great writer like Packy McCormick. It's good enough for me. Who wouldn't want to work 4 days a week? Well, Tim Ferriss has made millions. I'm talking about well over $100 million selling the idea with his 4-Hour Workweek book. He's written, of course, many other books, but he's really not even thought about as an author as much as an entrepreneur. But he loves to read, and science fiction is one of his favorite genres, with Ender's Game one of his favorite books. Here's what he says about the book. Through Ender's journey, you'll learn how to capitalize on your strengths and those of your teammates, as well as exploit your adversaries' weaknesses. And guess what? Another book that he loves is Dune. And here's what he says about it. Perhaps the most incredibly detailed and oddly believable fictional landscape I've ever encountered. And to tie up a nice symmetrical bow on this list, we're gonna go with an author, Paulo Coelho, of The Alchemist fame. Of course, he's written many other things, but that's the only book of his that I read. I stopped there. In any case, he, guess what, loves Dune as well. So if we look at this list clearly, Dune is a standout choice for many people. It's the science fiction book that crosses over into mainstream. Paulo Coelho describes Dune in one word: magnificent. Are there other famous people that you know of who love to read science fiction? Let me know in the comments below. I'd be curious to hear about them. These are just some that I was aware of. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next video.